Pipe Network presents.
On this episode of Season 4, Let's Talk.
But I think I thrive better when I'm around people. I'm really a group person. Sometimes I'm shy, but the energy of a group um, helps me perform better. So I don't do alone time. I really stick to them and, chat with them because when I'm left alone, that's when I panic. So, like, I do everything with a team, with a group.
Hey folks, welcome back to the Rajiv Show, and I'm your host Rajiv Doreswamy. And this show aims to help reach out to those who are currently struggling in life and to remind you that life is indeed beautiful when you're inspired to make it your own. Before we get into this episode, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to whichever platform you are using. And if you want to connect with me, you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and on TikTok at The Rajiv Show. Hey, folks, welcome to The Rajiv Show. And my guest is a one of a kind personality, and down to earth kind of person. And she's also a podcaster, just like me. She has an amazing podcast, which hopefully we'll talk about in this conversation. I want to introduce my guest, Veronica Guingon. Hey, how are you doing?
Hey! Yeah, my surname is really hard to pronounce. It's Gingon.
Guingon. Okay, silent you.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Hi. Hi, Rajiv.
How are you guys doing? How are you guys doing?
Living the pandemic life, working from home,
Yeah.
staying healthy as much as possible,
Mm,
and binging on Netflix movies.
interesting. Right off the bat, we got some interesting stuff to talk about. But before we get into the conversation, could you give a little bit of background to my listeners who are tuning in?
um, Okay, hi. I'm Veronica. My real job, I don't do podcasting for a living, but my real job is I'm a writer and producer for TV and video productions. So that's what I do most of the time. And then when I'm free, I play with my two cats and my dog. And I'm also a dragon boat paddler, but right now we can't do any dragon boat paddling because of the restrictions for COVID-19. So there, right now I'm just a pet mom.
Interesting. The dragon boat conversation is gonna be an interesting thing. I want to learn about that. I've never heard about that. Before we get into dragon
Dragon
boat,
boat?
yeah, before we get into that,
Mhm.
I'm gonna ask a question that, of course, opens entire conversations. If you and I were high
Mhm.
school classmates, who were you in high school? Are you the silent type? Are you the energetic, the sporty type? If you and I were classmates.
Hmm. Well, well, I was the performer. Like,
Mm,
this is so funny because I don't do it now. I don't do any of it anymore. I was part of a dance troupe, and I really like performing, like whether in class or for
mm,
extracurricular activities. Like I do cheer dancing, competitive dancing, and then for class, I really like doing reporting. Yeah, so I was good. I was kind of good in school, and I
mm,
was also very active in extracurricular activities. I
mm.
guess I was a really energetic, um, makulit kind of student. But
Interesting.
I was also motivated. Yeah, but I was also motivated to study hard because my parents were paying for my tuition fee.
Yeah. All right. We
Yeah.
we opened up a lot of stuff here that we're gonna highlight. We're gonna highlight performer, writer, producer, and dragon boat paddler. Um, First, I gotta ask. in connection to the previous question, is that when you're performing and when are you the competitive type? You know, the competitive kind of person when it comes to performance and competitions. I'm sure you guys have the fair share of dance events and stuff in school. So are you that
Yeah, in
competitive, like
school.
I'm gonna kill you kind of attitude? Do you have that kind of mindset?
Um, okay, is it okay if I speak in
Sure,
Taglish?
sure, sure.
Okay. Hindi naman I'm gonna kill you kind of type, but I really like winning, getting prizes um our school used to compete against other schools. So I studied in Nueva Ecija, so it's a
Huh.
province. So and my high school was a science high school, so it was just a really small batch of people, or around 60
Hmm,
or to 100 in our batch. So the
hmm,
competition was not really that hard, but it was fun. It's more of the fun enjoyment part of dancing that really got me to it. But and then the competition, if you won, it was like a plus, but it's not really the main motivator
hmm,
for dancing or performing.
hmm. And I'm sure the discipline to the years of performance in high school spilled over. You know, is that in producing and
Mm.
writing, and of course, dragon boat peddling.
Mm. Well, I haven't really thought about it, but now that you mentioned it, I think maybe it has helped me be a little disciplined. I'm not that disciplined, but yes, because when you perform, you have dance hours, you have to train for hours,
Hmm,
you have to learn the routine for hours, and then you have to juggle that with schoolwork. And
hmm,
since it is a science high school, so it's kind of well, the lessons are hard. So
hmm,
you really have to study, and you have to do both
hmm,
things, studying and practicing at the same time. So I guess maybe it has helped me become a little more disciplined.
hmm,
But I wouldn't say I'm that disciplined.
hmm. In some way, you have a
I don't know.
certain uh, level of level of intensity, I guess, or control towards
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, maybe.
towards the focus. Interesting.
Hmm.
As a performer, because I can relate to the concept of performing as you know, I'm a half musician, and of course, when we're performing, it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of that enjoyment, feeling that moment. I gotta ask,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
before you perform, do you have like like rituals, uh, rituals where you when you get into that groove
Oh.
and stuff like that? Do you have those types of thing? Of course,
Oh, okay.
in dancing, I think the common ritual is the get together prayer kind of thing before you get into on stage. Do you have
Yeah.
that kind of personal thing where
Mm-hmm.
everybody leave me alone? I need to be in the zone and all that stuff kind of thing.
Do you mean in dancing? Because I don't dance anymore right
No, I
now.
mean,
I
yeah,
think
during those
I've been
periods. Yeah, during those period.
oh yeah. Okay. I'm not really that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, the one where you zone out and you
Mm,
just have to focus by yourself. But I think I thrive better when I'm around people. I'm really a group person. So sometimes I'm shy, but I really the energy of a group
mm,
um helps me perform better. So I don't do alone time. I really stick to them and chat with them, because when I'm left alone, that's when I panic. So like I do everything with a team, with a group. And yeah, we also have those pep talks like, we're gonna do this. Meron din kaming ganon, like
uh,
and then sometimes we do like silent I don't know if you but you do the full dance routine. There's no music, and you're just counting. We
mm,
do that before the so that we get the extra energy and the jitters off our body.
mm. I want to take you back if you still have a present memory about your earlier dance performance life. Do you have a particular funny story that you care to share that hasn't been shared in any of the podcast episodes?
Hmm. Hmm. My gosh, this was a long time ago, Rajiv. Like, I graduated from high school in 2006, so that's like a decade and a half ago.
Yeah.
Let me try. I think we did the performance for we were asked to perform for a mall in Nueva Ecija. So there are
Mm,
only two malls in our province growing up, and
mm,
one of the big malls they invited us to dance, and the stage was kind of a not really a good quality. It was like a temporary stage, and the
mm,
floorboards were kind of loose. And then they asked us, and then we had a tumbling routine, and
mm.
then when I tumbled, I fell down because the floorboards were cracked. And like I think not only
Oh.
me, I think two other dancers had that because the floors were uneven. But the show had to go on, so you just stand up, keep smiling, keep dancing.
Wow, that's interesting. That's an interesting stuff. Let's transition off, okay, from the performance stage of your life. I want to tackle these two things that you mentioned, writer and producer. What got you into
Mhm.
writing as when you got into the job? Was it forced? Was it forced learning, or you had to learn to adapt and stuff like that?
Well, since I was young, I've already loved watching TVs, travel shows, documentary shows, and I also liked watching cartoons. So I was parang ano nga pinalaki ako ng TV.
Mm,
Kumbaga, parang if my mom was busy, I will just watch TV, and then I will be behaved already. I mean, I would be happy doing that. So when I was searching for a course in college,
mm,
I saw that UP had a broadcast communication course, and I really wanted to be a radio DJ or a TV reporter, a
mm,
news reporter, because I want to do stories. I want to interview people.
mm,
So I got into broadcast communication, and then after that, so it wasn't really a forced thing. I think it was really an interest that I thought,
mm.
hey, this would be a fun job. This would be a fun career to go to. And then after college, I realized I might not be a good fit to be a TV reporter, because when I interview people and they begin to cry, or when they
Yeah,
show their emotions,
yeah.
I begin to cry with them.
Oh, you're the
So
emotional
oh,
type.
I might
Okay.
yeah. So I don't think that will be good for TV. So I stuck to the behind the scenes work, and I
Ah,
really enjoy writing, interviewing people, creating videos. So that's how I ended up in this job, and it's still evolving.
yeah,
It's an evolving industry, because before TV was the main medium, but
mm,
now everyone can create content. You can get
yeah,
content everywhere on your phone or on your laptop.
yeah.
Podcasts like this too. So there. So it's an exciting and intimidating time to be a writer and producer.
In terms of since you set out that lay of land for college experience, is there a
Mm-hmm.
particular niche that you charter in terms of writing? Because I'm sure in the production side of producing broadcasting stuff,
Mm-hmm.
there are the script writers for journalism and stuff like that. Are you the
Mm-hmm.
transcriber, or how do you classify
Yeah.
yourself in terms of the writing side?
Mostly I do lifestyle shows.
Hmm.
So we do cooking shows, travel shows. I used to produce a show about sustainable, eco-friendly lifestyle. We
Hmm.
also did sports shows. So I do mostly lifestyle shows like that.
Oh, that
Sports, travel.
sounds fun.
Hmm.
Sounds fun.
Yes. Yes, it's fun. Yeah, because I think the best part of it is meeting people and talking to them, because it really
Hmm.
widens your perspective
Hmm.
and your view of the world. So I think
Hmm.
that's the fun part of it.
And as a producer, I gotta ask because the producing stuff is the toughest part. I'm sure. I don't know if you agree with me. It's the producing portion is the toughest, especially the marketing stuff. What are your thoughts on that? Your experience in that. I want to know. I
Mhm.
want to download that from you. What does it feel to be a producer? What's the feeling of it being a producer?
Hmm. Um, the producer's job is to really put together everything.
Mm,
They coordinate, they write. Oh, wait. It depends kasi on what kind of thing you're producing
mm,
because but in general, a producer's job is to write the episode, to
mm.
figure out the direction of the message that you're writing, and then coordinating it with the editor, with the host, or whoever is in your team, so that your idea, the look of the show is all put together
Yeah.
and cohesive. So there, I think the big part of it is making decisions and
Yeah.
communicating it to the whole team so that everyone is in line and the idea of the director or the creative director is achieved.
Wow. That
So there.
in my
Did
books,
I
it's
give a good
official.
description?
In
Did
my
I give
in
a
yeah, it kind of yeah. In my books, it I kind of classify you as a legend now because producing. You've mentioned that looks hard. Getting people together, especially the top end. Especially managing egos, expectation, and everything. That must be the most challenging
Mhm.
portion of it. Getting people
Yeah.
together, collaborating, sharing ideas. One is stingy on this side, one is stingy on that side. Getting A and B to get together and work. That's wow. You're a classified
Yeah, you're
legend, according
actually
to my
right.
book. That is saying, and
Yeah, dealing with people is actually the hardest part of it. But
yeah,
but it's also the most fun.
yeah. Now, before we get into one of my favorite topic that I want to talk about, we're gonna have a short
Hmm?
break, folks. We'll be right back after these few short messages. If you want a great vacation place this summer, we got a sweet deal for you. La Casa Vacance in Batangas is a great place for your family to relax and enjoy. Go to pipenetwork.co/ La Casa Vacance to use the promo code PRS to get 300 pesos per booking. And don't forget to follow national safety protocols, folks. Cheers and enjoy your stay.
For the latest news sa pop culture at social media bardagulan, samahan niyo kami. Ako si Marga.
Ako naman si Bullet sa pinakamasayang comedy current affairs podcast sa balat ng Spotify, Apple Podcast at Google Podcasts.
Mad in Manila.
Oh,
O, dalawang chismosa na lang, lalarga na!
Ay, manong kami!
Hey, folks, welcome back to the Rajiv Show, and I'm here with Veronica. I'm not going to pronounce her last name because I don't want to mess it up again. But yeah, I'm here with Veronica, and we were talking about performer, writing, production, and under my books, as mentioned in the earlier part of earlier half of the conversation, she's a classified legend because of the stress and the management and the leadership and everything that she handles. She's got my respects in that regard. Now, we gotta talk about this because this was the thing that I really want to highlight. Dragon boat peddling. I don't know what question. I don't know how to ask the question. What on earth is dragon boat peddling? This is new to me.
Okay. Okay, dragon boat paddling. It's a team sport where 20 people, well, yeah, 10 to 20 people paddle at the same time so that you reach the finish line the fastest. And then it's a sport that originated from China, but now it's a world-renowned sport. And the Philippines has a really good national team where like we won in the last SEA Games.
Wow.
So it's an emerging sport. Yeah, and I think I'd say it's the ultimate team sport.
Wow.
But I'm biased.
That's interesting. So you are an
Yeah.
athlete in your own regards when it comes to the stuff. I mean, wow, I didn't see that coming. This,
Yeah, but
I,
I'm not a professional athlete, okay?
hmm. Oh, this is
I do it for
part.
fun.
Okay, makes sense. But
Yes, it's a club crew,
this is
and we represent the University of the Philippines in some dragon boat races.
wow. I'm lost for words. I mean, so many questions in my head, but you know, it's like there's a filter system because I do not know which question can connect to dragon boat peddling. First of all, I want to know like, what's the training like? How does the training for the sport? How do you practice? Yeah, it sounds like so many questions in one. But how do you get
Yeah,
into
yeah.
saying dragon boat pedaling in terms of training, practice, and everything? Like, how does
hmm
that go?
Well, pre-pandemic, we
Hmm.
used to train 4 times a week, on 3 times during the weekdays, and on Saturdays we train. We start really early because my teammates have school or work, so we start training at 4:30 a.m. until
Hmm.
6 a.m. And then after that, we go back to our daily lives and work
Hmm.
in the real world. So
Hmm.
we have land training, so we do warm-ups on land, and then after that we get on the boat, and then we paddle for an hour to an hour and a half. We do
Hmm.
some drills, we do some trainings. Yeah.
Where on land?
So
Where on the water
there.
in Manila do you guys practice?
We train in Manila Bay at
Oh,
near the Manila Yacht Club. Yeah. So
wow,
we're out at sea at 4:30 a.m.
wow. Wow, this is phenomenal. I'm blown away. I'm blown away. Wow.
your, your your reaction is so funny to me because there are a lot of people who do it, and it's like a regular thing. So how you're acting right now, I find it really funny.
No, but genuinely, you're the first person that I had a conversation about dragon boat peddling. And I've been here for five
Mm-hmm.
years. I've been here in the Philippines, and here in La Trinidad, it's kind of rare to have dragon
Oh,
boat peddling because you're up in the mountains. There's no
yeah.
boat. You can't take a dragon
Yeah.
in the rivers here because it's a small
Yeah.
river. You can't even pedal half a centimeter, and I don't know how that is. So this is like very new experience conversation, and I'm really genuinely interested in you know h- how you guys go
Mhm.
through this. Aside from 4 times a week, do you guys have to go through like the workout session? Do you guys have a particular workout nutrition and all that stuff?
Yeah, we actually do. Our coaches have trainings for us. They do strength training, cardio training, what else? Body weight training, everything that you need to, because you have to grow, you have to be strong to be able to move the boat forward, and
Yeah,
you also have to be synchronized. So
yeah,
everyone has to move at the same time in the same way so
yeah.
that the boat is streamlined and no one hits the other's paddle, that kind of thing. So that's why I say earlier that it's the ultimate team sport, because you have to move as
Hmm.
one person. With
Mm,
the person in front of you 8 or 9 heads away from you
hmm.
should be moving the same way you are, whether you're at the front or the back. So it really you really have to be synchronized with each other, like not just physically but also mentally. You have to be
Hmm.
in the game, because when you do a dragon boat race, most of the races here in the Philippines, you're just like, let's say, 3 to 5 meters away from the next boat,
Hmm.
5 to 7 meters away from the next boat. So you hear your competition, they're shouting. If you watch some of the videos that we posted, we're always shouting and motivating each other, because you can
Hmm.
hear the other boat too. When you're ahead, you
Hmm.
feel it when you see it when you're behind. So it's like really an intense sport. So it's a physical and mental training that so we have to be strong physically and mentally. I mean.
Wow. This is inspiring. This is inspiring.
Yeah.
I'm in love with dragon boat pedaling now. I think I need to go watch some dragon boat pedaling stuff. This
Yes,
is
you should
interesting.
try. You should try. But mind you, we're just a club crew. Like some of our members are students. Some of our members are like managers, auditors, accountants,
Wow.
people with corporate jobs. So it's really a mix of people and students from the University of the Philippines and we come together, and the sport brought us all together. I would never thought I'd meet them if not for the sport, because we come from very different fields and industries. So,
And
sport.
I want to ask, when you have the age, I'm sure age plays an important role when it comes to the game, because I think just like any other sport, it's a young man's game. The youngest energy is the one who gets things from point A to point B. Is there a certain age limit, like when it comes to the sports, or is there a
Actually,
from the people you've mentioned you've networked with over the period of thing?
actually, that's what I love about Dragon Boat. There's no age limit. Like
Really?
some of the other teams, in some of the other teams, there are senior citizens who compete.
What?
Who compete in races? Yeah. Some of
Really?
them are even breast cancer survivors. And the age. That's what I learned in sport in Dragon Boat, that age doesn't really matter. Like,
Wow.
it's good that you start at a young age, but
Yeah.
no matter what age you are right now, you can still perform and be at the top of your game. As long
Wow.
as you do the training, you take care of yourself, you eat well,
Huh.
you have a great coach.
Wow, I nearly spewed water on that
Age
one.
is not,
Wow.
yeah, age is not, it's not really a limitation. And also in Dragon Boat, there's sometimes when you go to international races, there is a category for an older age group. They call it the masters category. So that's for people who are, I think, 40 or 45 and above. So age is really not an issue.
Wow.
Which is
I was
great.
just I was
Yeah.
gonna drink water, and then I nearly spewed the water when you said age is not the thing. You got seniors. Wow. That's
Yeah, in other teams, yes.
I gotta ask, experience wise, I gotta ask, do you have like a funny story somewhere in China, or you somewhere you competed it? I'm sure you've with dragon boat pedaling. I'm sure there's some memories that linger in your mind that you've experienced that say, hey, that's a good story to tell.
A funny, a funny story. I'm not sure if it's funny, but sometimes in dragon boat races, when it's really intense, sometimes the steersmen at the back fall down, or like sometimes the boats collide and run into the lanes of the other boats. But when you're there during the race, it's kind of like, oh my god, that's scary. But looking back at it now, like, oh my god, people fall off boats and into the sea while we're all paddling. But so there. And I think a funny thing is, and it's kind of relevant right now, since we're training in Manila Bay, the water in Manila Bay is not that great. It's really polluted. So we have to paddle out into the area where there's no trash, where the water is a little cleaner. So we have to do that. And then sometimes during the rainy season or the typhoon season, or I think maybe after the typhoon season, sometimes the water lilies get washed to the shore. So sometimes you have to paddle through water lilies, like, excuse me, we need to train. But sometimes it's really it's really thick that you can't move anymore. So it's like you're paddling on land. Yeah. But sometimes, Manila water is like really beautiful in the morning, and sometimes there are luminescent. I don't know what they're called, but there are
Planktons?
luminescent. Yeah, I think I think they are planktons, organisms, but they glow. And when you paddle, it's like real life Moana. Like, for
Wow.
real. It's,
4
yes.
a.m.
And,
Oh, wow.
so that, yeah, but it's worth it. And then the sunrise, especially during the first quarter of the year, like, it's really like super duper awesome. We take videos of the sunrise all the time because it's
Wow.
so good.
I'm blown
Yeah.
away. This this is an amazing. I mean, wow, that experience itself, it kind of internalized. It's kind of like a nice, warm,
Mm-hmm.
motivational, inspirational kind of feel. Did you
Yes.
guys, this joke that I had in my head is saying, when you
Mm-hmm.
guys, you mentioned you pedaled outside, when the polluted waters and everything. When you pedal outside into
Yes.
the ocean, is there a point that you guys reach up to Spratly Islands when you pedal or something?
No, not really. Not that far. That would be too exhausting. And then
Or
the
to
water would be
Palawan?
too wavy.
Yeah.
No, just in Manila Bay, along Manila Bay.
Yes. That would be probably weird. Like someone, I'm sure there's some guys out there who had a bad day and then, of course, gets into the boat and gets so pissed off. Out of anger, he starts rowing, rowing. You guys, out in the end of the thing, you'd be like, "What? Why are we in Palawan all of a sudden?"
I think they'd be tired already, and then all their anger will be gone by the
Yeah.
time because they'd be
Yeah.
tired.
Yeah, it'd be like, "Oh, we just went to Mindanao in 5 minutes. Wait, where are we?"
I don't think that's possible.
But that's just a joke. That's like interesting. I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure everybody they all have rough days and they take it out in the paddling because of course the rowing
Yeah.
motion kind of the the feel of it is kind of release and thing.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
This is this is
True,
an
true.
inspirational thing conversation about dragon boat peddling. I mean, I love it. I love it. This is amazing.
Yeah, so we can't wait to get back on the boat. So this pandemic, the lockdown has been
Hmm.
like we're really missing going on the boat and paddling out into the sea. So
Yeah.
I really hope the pandemic will be resolved soon because we want to get back on the dragon boat.
Oh man, when I'm in Manila, hopefully, if the pandemic, I wanna see how you guys do this. This is, I, I,
Yeah.
I
Or you
gotta.
can try. You can try paddling with
Yeah, I
us.
mean, our tub in the bathroom is not that big, so I'll probably go a few inches shorter. But yeah, and I think the lakes and all, yeah, the lakes are very thin. The water is very thin, so I doubt it. If the even the boat, probably I'd get my ass scratched into the thing. But this this is
Yes.
this is thank you for educating me about dragon boat pedaling and the experience. I kind of downloaded the feeling of the sunrise sunset in the ocean. It's this thing. Oh yeah, I gotta
Yeah.
ask also one more thing. That's I forgot that thing. Have you guys encountered like the whale experiences as well? Have you guys seen the whale, or when you were paddling you were
Hmm.
competing against whales or
Not
some
really.
sharks?
There are no, there are no whales in Manila Bay. But surprisingly, there are, I don't know what the English term for tilapia is, but
Hmm. Hmm.
there are some fish in Manila Bay, and like I said, there are planktons, and there are a lot of birds.
Oh.
Surprisingly, that travel across Manila Bay, and sometimes they land on the dock. Yeah,
Hmm.
flocks of birds. Like
Wow.
there are a lot.
This has been an experience. This is an experience. I felt like I was in the ocean. I'm sitting here in my office, but I felt like I was in the ocean right now. I mean, this is inspiring. Before we wrap this conversation about dragon boat pedaling, is there a particular motivational quote that your coach or your fellow friends remind you every time when you're in the ocean, or probably I'm sure like the earlier performance discipline that has taken you
Hmm.
towards your professional life? Do you have a particular
Mhm.
motivation that they gave you that you stuck through and through, that will remind you, hey, I gotta do what I gotta do in order to get this thing done? either
Hmm.
in boat peddling and in professional, in the mass comm life.
Mhm. Okay, we don't really have a motto or a quote, but I think one lesson that I take away from Dragon Boat and bring it to everyday life is to um do the be good at the basics
Mm,
and um to train regularly because when you're in a competition and you're rattled or scared or nervous or intimidated or any negative emotion that you
mm,
feel while you're waiting for a race to start and you see your competition,
mm,
that's like it really shakes you up.
mm,
Go back to the basics and go back to the training because when you know that you're prepared na
mm,
nag-ipon ka na ng training
mm,
because you can't rush being good or you can't rush being physically prepared for something. So when you do the training beforehand and
mm.
when you master the basics, when you get good at the basics, when you're already in the field, that's what will get you through it. That's what will push you to the finish line. So yun, go back to the basics, be good at the basics, and do your work sa training.
I'm blown
I
away.
think that
I am blown
I
away.
think that also applies to life,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I'm blown away by this conversation. I came into this conversation not expecting anything, and my mind is blown. Like I mentioned, I think in the first half,
Yeah.
you are a certified legend in my heart and also in my books. That is a guaranteed. You have my respects, and wow.
I thought we were gonna talk about our podcast.
Yeah, we want to change it up a bit. I mean, dragon boat peddling.
Mm-hmm.
When someone says dragon boat peddling, who is not gonna miss the opportunity to learn about that when they don't even know what it is? Come on, that's that. I mean, that in itself is an experience. I mean, wow. I don't know what to say after that. It's really
You should
interesting.
try it. You should try it.
Yeah, I should try it with my with my bathtub and
No, come here to Manila and try it with our team.
Oh, I need to work out though. I'm a skinny guy. I mean, I'm so skinny. I mean, probably the birds in
we
Manila Bay will pick me quickly and take me to Palawan or something.
some of my teammates, they used to be skinny.
Hmm.
And then after training and then proper diet and eating and
Hmm.
doing the program by the coaches,
Hmm.
they got a little thicker. They had more meat in their body.
Hmm.
Yeah. So no one goes there. No one is a dragon boat paddler right
Hmm.
away. Like you go there and oh, this guy is a dragon boat paddler. Oh, this guy is an athlete. I think that's what's good about a club crew.
Hmm.
There is no pressure right away that you have to meet this certain qualification. You have to be
Hmm.
this tall. You have to be this heavy or be this light, or you have to, it's not that strict
Hmm.
compared to professional and national teams. So I think that's the beauty of it also, that it's really inclusive and it's really about developing yourself, getting better,
Hmm.
and not being the perfect, athlete or paddler already. I think the development is the greater part of it.
The process, you mean something like that?
Yes.
Right. Yeah. This is wow. I love this conversation. This conversation is wow. Dragon boat peddling. I mean, I want to try it out though. Hopefully they let this pandemic thing, and I want to experience this. This is amazing. It's amazing. Before we wrap this conversation, of course, if my listeners want to find you on social media, how do they find you via social media? By the way.
Oh, okay. You can. Is it okay if I just share our podcast?
Sure, sure, sure.
page. Okay, you can find me, you can talk to me and my co-hosts from It's an Adult Thing. That's our podcast. Just look for us in Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter at It's an Adult Thing. So there, look us up there. And you can also try listening to some of our episodes.
Oh yeah, these guys have amazing content that's coming from the Rajiv show. That's with respect. Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Thank you.
I second your thing. And I want to say thank you to my guest, uh,
Thank
a
you.
certified legend from the Rajiv show,
That's so
Veronica.
funny. Okay. Thank you if you think I'm a legend, though personally I think I am not, but thank you for that. Recently I learned to accept compliments, so thank you for that.
Yeah,
And thank you so much. I had fun talking to you.
awesome. Awesome. And for those folks who are tuning in, I hope you picked up a thing or two in this conversation. Folks, cheers and stay safe.